So hi, welcome back to the Cina-Verse. My name is Luca.
And my name is Nick.
And today we're going to review Thor, Love and Thunder.
Let's begin.
So as I said in the intro, today we're going to review Thor, Love and Thunder. We're going to talk about the characters, we're going to talk about the plot, what we liked, what we didn't like, and we're going to explain a little bit of Easter eggs and the post-credit scenes at the end. So let's get into it.
Spoilers. It's supposed to be.
So this is a spoiler review. We're going to talk about everything. So if you haven't watched Thor, Love and Thunder, what are you doing here? Go and watch the film and come back here and listen to our review. The plot was very, very simple. It
has nothing to do with the MCU.
An added story. I think the post-credit scene gave us more of what's to come, really, but it was a very solo Thor movie. But actually, it did tie a little bit into the greater MCU. There is an underlying link that maybe most people didn't see.
I didn't see.
This film deals a lot with the Norse mythology, the afterlife of the Norse mythology. So
Valhalla.
You watched Moon Knight?
Yeah, we did a video about it.
If any of you didn't watch Moon Knight, go watch Moon Knight.
Yeah.
There is a link to Moon Knight and other MCU films because it deals with the afterlife.
Because we have Egyptian, we have Norse,
African mythology because of Black Panther.
And now just a bit of Greek mythology because of Zeus in this film.
Yes,
so
exactly.
And it's all these with afterlife. Like Marvel is getting deep now about talking about the afterlife.
They're introducing every sort of afterlife there is. They're trying to dive deeper into the mythology. But the point is that the topic of the afterlife, it's nearly, I would say, the focal point of this film. They seem they're going to go into a certain direction because they're introducing these different afterlives.
In future Marvel films.
In a future Marvel film. We got to know why they're making such an emphasis on introducing different afterlives.
They have secrets we don't know about the afterlife.
Let's get back into the plot. All around the plot, the plot was very simple. It was just a fun movie. It was a popcorn eating movie.
More as a comedy film.
Yeah.
It was just
because
comedy
with
film.
Thor, they're moving into that direction. That especially with Taika Waititi as director, he's using Thor more in a comedic role. He can be serious when he wants to, but he's bringing the humor out more because the first two Thor films were quite serious. That's actually what I wanted to ask you is, do you like the direction that they're taking with Thor?
Not really, no. Because the thing about it is that I don't mind the humor. It's just that it gets too much. Overdoing it, it's getting cheesy. We get it. Okay, it's funny, but don't use it all the time. How they use humor in Marvel is a sort of, I don't know how to get around this, so I'm just going to make it funny.
Right.
I see it like that.
I asked you that because I talk to a lot of people and I've read, comments online, reviews, not only about Love and Thunder, even about the previous Thor film, Ragnarok. And although they did enjoy the comedy, they felt that it was kind of overused, and they're turning a character like Thor into
a comedian,
who's a god, into a very comedic character, which he isn't.
I don't mind making him more human. He's a god. He should be all powerful and all that. I like that they're bringing him down into human level, with Jane and the love interest. I'm not keen with how they did the love relationship in this one. I felt it was cheesy.
No, I like cheesy things.
You like cheesy things.
I'm sort of, not everything, not on the verge of being cringe. Right?
For Thor, I don't feel that it works.
The reason for me that it does work, now I get where you're coming from, because for me, yes, in certain moments, they're overusing a little bit of the comedy.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why it mostly works is Taika Waititi and Chris Hemsworth. They have great chemistry. So, and Chris Hemsworth, he can be a comedian when he wants to. He's a very funny guy. Bringing those two together and making a Thor film, they make the comedy work. One thing that I actually want to continue on what you were saying, because they are bringing a more human aspect to Thor's character.
Which is, I think, is great, by the way.
Exactly, because over the course of his own films and the Avengers films, we've seen him become more human, but he's still in touch with his godlike
powers.
Exactly, and his godlike persona. He still has his presence. One thing that I really like to talk about when now we start to talk about the characters, Christian Bale, on point.
I think for Thor, he was the best villain out of all the Thor films.
Up until now, yeah. And the only thing I would say that I didn't like about this film, that we didn't see more of Christian Bale as Gore. Gore is a major villain when it comes to Thor. Christian Bale, even when Christian Bale was announced, like most people said, oh really, Christian Bale is going to be the villain? Is he?
It works.
Is he this type to do these sort of movies? Like he did Batman.
This is the same thing when it comes to the Joker. They say something about Heath Ledger. They said something about Phoenix. It's like,
and this is Gore, not Joker. This is Gore. Like this is the first time we've seen Gore live action. But that's the thing. He brought so much to the character.
I wish there was more of him. Yeah,
like,
more depth into
most
his character.
of my. If I were to pick some like favorite scenes from the movie, like I think most of the scenes is where he's in.
Yeah.
Gore and Thor, in this case, within this film, they're the polar opposites. Thor is this,
they contrast each other quite
this
well.
Colorful character, exactly, and he's this dark, brooding, sad, angry. You could see in certain scenes, even when he's talking in their face, when he captures them and he's talking to their face, you can see the level of
cruelty.
Like, I was going to say professional. I don't know how to explain it. Like, he brought so much energy. He makes you, in a way, feel sorry for him, which is an approach that I really enjoyed, because we got introduced to the villain first. And this was a villain that we didn't know about.
I actually like when they do that.
Sometimes we need to see that even the villain, sometimes they have a point.
Let's go snap
half the population.
Malta.
Oh, Malta especially. Don't get me started.
Malta needs to half of its people
half,
to get
3/4.
Okay.
We can talk a little bit about Natalie Portman as well. She came back, Jane Foster, Mighty Thor.
I didn't like the most is how she got her powers, kind of.
Really? Okay.
It was all of a sudden just like, so you just walked up to the broken hammer and magically got the hammer together, and now magically you have power. I know it's magic, it's not science.
That's not what I was going to say, but fine.
It didn't build up to it.
Okay, all right, I get what you're saying.
And it was from the very beginning.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. There is a sense that the hammer is calling to her. Okay, she goes up to the hammer, which is shattered. Yeah, Mighty Thor. There is no build up. I get that. And that, yes, it did bother me a little bit.
If you had to do, for example, she gets episodes where she hears, like maybe nightmares or dreams where she hears the voice, and then she gets to that part, maybe it would have been better. But like first time hearing it, I go where the hammer is. I just get the...
Because then, if you look at it that way, it's not like she's a newbie. Like, she knows the world.
She knows the world a bit. Obviously, she went to Asgard.
What I want to say is because they do reference how, in a way, she becomes worthy. Thor tells Mjolnir to protect her at all costs. It's what like Odin did in the first Thor film. When he banished him, he said, whoever is worthy, may he possess the power of Thor. And Thor unknowingly,
he gave it to protect
commanded
Jane.
Mjolnir to protect Jane. He made her worthy in a way, but in turn she made him worthy from the beginning, like he said as well.
So
like they make each other worthy. I know I'm sounding cheesy, but that's what it is. All right?
No,
Accept
it is what it is. I'm not
You can
going
call me
against-
cheesy. You can call me cliche. You can call me cringe.
No, it is what
I
it
don't
is.
care.
As in, you're explaining how the film is. I'm not calling you cheesy.
Say whatever else you were going to say.
No, I don't have anything else to say about
Fine.
this film.
Okay.
I think.
Then let's move on to the most important point of this film, right? And that is, you know what it is?
I'm scared to say at this point, but
I'll say it. Chris Hemsworth's ass.
Oh my god.
Ant-Man called Captain America's ass America's ass,
Yeah.
right? And even Steve Rogers acknowledged that,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, Captain America's ass is America's ass.
Yeah.
But Thor's ass is the galaxy's ass.
Oh no.
Right? Hands down. Yesterday, when I went to see it for the first time, right? When his ass showed up on the screen, like everyone started to clap and to whistle. Like, I didn't clap or whistle, but like, Taika Waititi said this in an interview. He said, in the film, you get the full Hemsworth.
I did enjoy
So if
that
any
part.
of you said, nah, I don't want to go watch Thor, go watch Thor.
Yeah, you get to see Chris
Hemsworth's
Hemsworth's
ass.
ass. It's the only good thing about this film. Is that you get to see his ass.
Exactly.
So we move on to the post-credit
Credit
scenes.
And I had a feeling that this character was going to appear. Thor mentions Hercules. Okay, nice Easter egg. So we're going to get Hercules. And when they went to Omnipotent City and Hercules didn't show, it's like, okay, we're going to see him in one of the post-credit scenes. Hercules is a very important member of the Avengers. And he has like a frenemy relationship with Thor. He's going to appear in the next Thor film for sure. And they're probably going to have a really cool fight scene. But in the end, I think they become allies, which, you know, they have to be. Hercules is part of the Avengers. Now, I'm getting this from a video that I saw this morning on YouTube who explains the post-credit scene. So I'm not the one who's saying this.
Yeah.
But when I heard it, I said, okay, it makes a lot of sense. Ares is going to be...
Oh, okay.
So he's the god of war.
Yeah.
Right? So he's going to be the main villain for Thor 5.
I'm excited for the next Thor because like it's like Norse and Greek mythology start to like battle each other.
Yeah, one thing that I wanted to add, you know the actor who's playing Hercules?
No, I didn't recognize
Okay,
him.
because when I saw him the first time yesterday, I said, I know that guy. You ever heard of the series Ted Lasso?
No, I didn't see it though.
But have you heard of it? You know what it's about?
Not really, no.
Okay, for those of you who don't know what Ted Lasso is, it's a series. Jason Sudeikis is in it, you know who he is, right? And he plays an American football coach.
Okay.
And he goes to coach football, soccer in the English Premier League. He's not coaching the same sport, but he's coaching a team of a sport that he doesn't know.
Okay.
He doesn't know about football, about soccer, and he's American and he's coaching soccer. And I hate myself for calling it soccer. It's football.
It's football. We're in Europe.
Exactly.
Call it football.
Exactly. Now again, I love American football as well. But
it's called American
football. It's football.
Fight us, Americans.
The actor who's playing Hercules, his name is Brett Goldstein, and he plays a football player in the series. He's a very funny character. He's very angry. He's very strict. He's brutal, right? He's like the stereotypical, like old-fashioned English football player. He's angry and he tackles everyone all the time. But at the same time, he's very sensitive. I think he's a very good actor to take on that role as Hercules. Moving on to the post-credit scene, I have two things to say about the post-credit scene. We see Jane enter Valhalla. And surprise, surprise, we see Heimdall. What happened is, Jane does enter Valhalla. According to the comics, Thor brings her back. So there is a possibility that she does come back for future films. Jane Foster will return as the mighty Thor, or becomes Valkyrie when Jane comes and helps Thor. She's on a Pegasus. And Valkyrie's right Pegasus. Pegasi? What's the plural of Pegasus?
Yes.
Pegasus?
Pegasus?
That doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Tell us in the comments. Moving on to what I thought
What did you think?
the post-credit scene was going to be about, because we get introduced to the Necro Sword. Do you know the original owner of the Necro Sword? They said this in the beginning. It got created from the dawn of time. There's only one character, and it was Null, the god of symbiotes. He created the Necro Sword. Null beheaded the Celestial. The thing is, we need to find out how that Necro Sword left the possession of Null until it ended up at Gore. Because there would have been the link to Venom, to Spider-Man, because he's a Venom Spider-Man villain.
And we know that we're going to go more into Venom because of one of the post-credit scenes with Eddie at No Way Home.
That brings an end to this episode where we reviewed Thor: Love and Thunder. Please like, comment,
and lightning.
And subscribe.
Lightning.
And subscribe.
Lightning.